What's up guys, Levain here, and today I'll be bringing you a video about my add-ons I use currently for PvP and WoW in general. And it's been a little while since I made a video. I recently had to move into a new apartment, and the school year started again, so I've been a little bit busy, but I am going to still try and make as many videos as I can. As you can see, I have my Hunter, my main at 120 right now. Also have a Rogue I've been playing at 120. And I recently started leveling my paladin. Oh god, that helmet's so ugly. So he'll eventually get back up there, and I intend to play Rhett again at some point. I've also been leveling arms warrior. But yeah, I'm working on the plate classes next. But right now my main is Hunter. I've been playing BM and survival pretty much equally, and marksman and battlegrounds, which is pretty fun. All right, so let's get into the add-ons. So the add-ons I use right now. It looks like a lot of them, but a lot of them are just the additional plugins that I don't really use. So Auctionator, I'm not going to really explain that. That's just a way to sell items on the auction house really quick. Battleground enemies, which is like the old Battleground targets. It's just a new updated version of it. I use big debuffs, so I can see on my raid frames what's happening. Again, I'll show that once we're in game. Details is a damage recount, but I have to say right now, Details does not record damage very accurately right now. It's probably one of the worst add-ons to use in terms of accuracy at the moment, which is funny because it used to be the best. I'm still using it. They're putting out updates, like almost 2 updates a day, to try and get it fixed, but so far it hasn't functioned the same way as in Legion. I use E-Align to help me line up things in game. I'll show that. That's easier to explain. It's just like a grid. Fly plate buffs, which a lot of you ask me about all the time. This is what displays debuffs on the target. Gladius for arenas. You can kind of ignore Legion treasures and Gladiator Losa. I put this here because a lot of people, this will help people get used to arenas. It's a voice communicator, which, like, say, Avenging Wrath when a Ret Paladin pops wings or something like that. I don't use it though, personally. I find it annoying, but that's just because I look for debuffs rather than voice communication. Need to Know is kind of similar to a couple add-ons like it's like another version of Weak Aura. I'm not going to explain how to use that. It's there's 3 versions of Weak Auras that you can use. You can use Weak Auras, you can use Need to Know, and you can use Tell Me When. All 3 of them are pretty similar. There's Omnibar to track interrupts and CC. I use that to keep track of Paladin Hodge, Rogue Kidney Shot, stuff like that. And here's Tell Me One. This is another add-on I use like Weak Auras. And there's Weak Aura and Deadly Boss mods. I don't really use this here that much. I'm actually going to turn it off. Alright, let's get started. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the add-ons functionality. So a lot of what you guys have been asking about is the add-on called Fly Plate Buffs. And what that add-on does is when I use something like, let's say, Concussive Shot, it displays it above the head. Or let's see if Intimidation even works on a dummy. See, when I use Intimidation, the stun, it pops up in a little bit larger frame on top of the enemy. You can also use this add-on to track Barb Shot, but I use a different add-on to track Barb Shot in addition to Fly Plate Buffs. And that add-on is, let me get my pet out of combat real quick. That add-on is Tell Me When. So that is this little bar in the corner above my enemy nameplate. Let me just open it up. /TMW. That's how you open up the add-on. And it lets you click on these frames here and set your own abilities and debuffs that you want to track. So on the left here, this little timer, this is a debuff. And let me see if I can open it up here. Click. Okay, so you right click it, and up in this left hand corner here, you can display what buff you want to track. So here, I typed in Frenzy. You can either choose it from the menu here, or just type it in. I recommend just typing in the ability. It's good at self-choosing the correct Frenzy, or correct debuff that you want to display. And it goes Who to Watch, and it's set based to yourself, but you want to just change that to Pet, because it's a pet debuff, or a pet buff that you're tracking. And you click here, buff, and then you can track it here. I have it hidden when it's not displayed. But if you want to display when it's not there, just have that icon. You can set the opacity to either complete or just, you know, half if you want it faded when it's not there. But I choose to have mine off. So what that does is, see this little timer icon here? I track kill command, chimera shot, and barb shot cooldowns on the same bar. And what that does is, let me get rid of /tmw. So now you see that timer's gone. So you can see the charges of barb shot I have left. And when I press barb shot, you get the tracking for the frenzy buff on the pet. Now it has the same. You could always track the barb shot dot on top of the dummy, but I find it easier to save my GCDs for right when it's about to end, and then I'll just click the barb shot, so I can see the timer of frenzy and the cooldown of barb shot together. Just makes it easier to determine, oh, am I gonna have to pop Aspect of the Wild to get another charge of barb shot, or am I just gonna kind of save my charges to when I'm back at 2 and then slowly get them rolling again? Another way I got this all lined up was with the E-align, which I believe it's /align, and it gives you this nice little grid here that you can line your nameplates up. I have exactly 3 in between each of my friendly nameplate and my target nameplate. I don't know, it's just something that you can do. You don't need to, just OCD like me. Let's see, what other add-ons have I been using? So the big debuffs add-on, take a look when I press Bestial Wrath. You can see Bestial Wrath becomes my nameplate. Same thing goes for CC over nameplates, like wings. Other big cooldowns just go over people's nameplates. They also, I believe, there's a way to get it to track on your party frames as well. That's pretty much it. Gladius is a very standard setup. You don't have to do much editing when it comes to that. It just appears in Arena. Along with Battleground targets, I line them up on the right side of my screen, overlapping each other. And that's pretty much it. Let me just show you guys what it looks like as survival real quick. Let me activate survival specialization. So we got pretty decent gear as both BM and survival right now. Unfortunately, I have gear that I can't use because it just, like, the way PvP functionality works with stats is your agility is slightly nerfed while your Azurite traits and your secondary stats are not touched. So even if you have high item level gear like this 370 chest piece and 365 legs, if it's not your ideal stats, it's not going to be worth equipping. Unless it's such a significant gain on agility. But even, I checked, I simmed myself, I also did lots of tests between this 370 piece. Even with the 132 agility increase, it is unfortunately worse than having Thunder Splash and Heed My Call. Which is kind of disappointing, but that's beside the point. So, in survival, this is what the add-ons look like. You can track your, oops, I have to equip the weapon. You can track your slow timer, your debuffs such as Serpent Sting, Dagger in the Back. That add-on that I had pop up for my Viper's Venom was a weak aura. So let me just open up weak auras. It's just /WA. And as you can see, I have a lot of different weak auras. And in order to make these, you just go, you click new up here, and then you click something like a structure you want here. So say you wanted a progress bar, which I have a lot of different progress bars down here, but let's focus on a hunter one. So I have Mongoose Fury. This is what I use to track the timing left on my Raptor Strike, or Mongoose Bite rather. And display, I have the bar color set as red, and you go over here and click trigger, and you just type in the buff that you want to track, and I wanted to track Mongoose Fury, and I have it set as a bar, which if you click up here and go to new, you click progress bar. But if you wanted an icon like let's see, this is, I believe, a slice and dice tracker, you could track it like this little style over here for your Mongoose Bite. But yeah, that is a general overview of the buffs that I track. This is just a tell me when for my kill command, and I was thinking about adding a tell me when for shrapnel bomb, but for some reason I just always look over here for shrapnel bomb. I'll probably eventually put it on the tell me when bar. Alright, that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next video.